People who have kids before sorting out their traumas and issues are selfish and part of the reason why we have so many problems in the world. Be prepared for multiple opinions. You have a moral obligation to fix your mental/physical issues and childhood traumas before you bring children into this world. Trauma and abuse is passed down through generations unless someone breaks the wheel. Having a kid because you think it might fix you is completely f***ed up. Human beings are not objects or tools. Stop having kids to get your so to stay, or because you're lonely, or because you feel pressured to do so by society. Have them if you are ready. If not, you contribute exponentially to the problems of the world today. Too many people talk about having rights without thinking about the consequences of those rights. Yeah, you can have 22 kids if you wanted, but that doesn't mean you should. Too many broken adults out there raising equally as broken children, and the whole world suffers because of this. Get it together, people. Stop procreating like this. BC should be free, abortions should be legal everywhere, and I almost dare say encouraged. Edit: if you had kids before you thought you were ready, I don't intend to make you feel badly. Just do better by you and do better by your kids. Edit. Cheers for the gold. I appreciate you. Time to spread the wealth to others. Smiley. It sucks to grow up and realize that your parents acted a certain way when you were a kid because of what their own parents made them go through and how stressed they are. I feel as though some people should really just wait until they're fine. My dad has really bad PTSD and trauma from child abuse which still affects him today, but honestly I commend him for how he's dealt with it. He knows how he felt as a kid, so he's never hit us and he's always supports us for our decisions because he was never given any. It still comes out occasionally with some of the stuff he says because it sounds exactly like his dad. I think it depends more on how you deal with your issues than the issues themselves. I've literally seen dozens of parents who talk about their child like it's a pet and/or burden. I have to pick up my son from my exes because they won't watch him this weekend. The reason why I won't have kids, if I have a say in it, is because I am aware that my mental health is too damaged and I am too selfish to raise a child properly. It makes me sad thinking I'll never be able to pass on and experience the family love, but knowing myself as much as I do, I know my child would suffer. I am grateful that I had a pretty normal childhood, but seeing some of my peers with abusive parents and how it affected them is why I made this decision. I know this sounds selfish, believe me. I didn't realize how messed up I was until I was a 21, maybe 22-year-old single mom of 3. I had twins at 18 and another at 20, same dad, who ended up leaving because he wasn't happy. Yes, I know it was my fault I had kids young, but at the time it made sense. Being a stupid teenager not listening to my parents or my gut. I could go into so many details, but there was a specific moment I realized exactly what the op is talking about. My girls were getting older, they were super hyperactive, no discipline, my depression got to me and I never cleaned my house, I would let food rot, I was disgusting, filthy. Even writing about this makes me mad at how stupid I was. One day, my twins woke me up and asked me to clean because they were tired of living dirty. I broke down. I hugged them and apologized. I cleaned the entire apartment, threw away spoiled food and bought fresh fruits and vegetables, and I never looked back. My kids' behaviors all got better, their grades went up, I went back to school and recently got my master's. I'm not even 30 yet. My twins turn 12 this year and my youngest turns 10. I truly believe people do have the ability to turn their lives around, but they are scared of failing. Again, this is my opinion and not wanting to sound like an asshole. I think the reason why their dad left this because I was raised a certain way. My parents split up because I caught my dad cheating on my mom, and many other details I won't go into. I didn't know it actually did affect me and I brought it into my relationship. But now, I'm happy, my girls are happy, and thankfully I corrected this early on before they could remember any of it. I took how my parents raised me, and whatever I didn't like I don't do it. Pretty much every single person I know who has produced fucked up kids has done so because they had them too early. Unfortunately, Many people don't realize they are messed up or are afraid to admit it. It takes a lot to be self-aware and to admit to yourself that you're the problem. Having kids is a societal pressure. You have kids because that's the right thing to do. It's almost frowned upon if you let people know you don't want kids. Some people are actually shamed for choosing to not having kids or unable to have kids, which is seriously messed up. I strongly believe that some people shouldn't have kids because they'll never admit or fix their issues. I know some really toxic families. The children resent their parents and the parents regrets having them. They are all constantly fighting or just not even talking to each other. It's a really sad situation. The issue is sometimes issues go unnoticed and the mindset of "I was raised this way and I'm okay" is still a mindset for some. For example, depression/bipolar disorder runs through the female side of my family. My mom was undiagnosed and was raised as the black sheep and singled out by her mother at every step. She fell pregnant at 16 and had a boy who she was forced to give to her married older sister to be adopted by them. My entire family are like an advert for a 50s household. We were all raised being spanked, and as long as we looked and acted like everything was coming up roses, then all was well. I attempted suicide at 18 when my own child was 3 months old. My mum found me and her reaction was to slap me around the face and call me a fucking idiot before ringing an ambulance. My grandparents told me to just snap out of it. I never got kisses or cuddles growing up. I never had anyone tell me they were proud of me or well done, only that I should do better, be better. I thought this was all normal and nothing wrong with it at all until I had to attend court-ordered therapy, and that's when I realized my family was stuck in a never-ending circle, and so since then I've been conscious to change for my kids and to make sure they receive kisses and cuddles and for them to know it's okay to cry or be angry, etc. So sure, if you're aware of issues before you become a parent, then you should deal with them, but it's not always so black and white. I'm breaking the will, and cheers to everybody else doing the same. True, but are there people without any traumas and issues? Same as people who adopt/purchase animals who are utterly unfit to take care of anything. This is right up there with people who shouldn't be having kids because they're not in the position to do so. By position, I do mean financially able to do so. My mom was a victim of parental abuse and was abused by my dad. Did she get psychological help? No. So yeah, she's not a good mom. Same reason I don't want to have kids soon/ever. No one understands and they all think it's a phase. Once you grow up you'll see. I'm 23 years old, female. I don't want to be pregnant and bring up another human being into this weird world we live in.